If you are going for your oral examination, make sure you practice your ROR cards. ROR stands for Rule of the Roads. In that respect, I have previously made 23 videos where each video comprises of a set of different cards so that you can practice recognizing these lights. It's essential that you watch all the videos and practice as many cards as you can, because during the oral examination there is a high probability that you will be asked to recognize the lights as shown to you in the ROR cards. This is part 24 in that same respect. Today, the first card is a power driven vessel, that is towing. Whenever we see two vertical lights or two white vertical lights in the same line, we should indicate that either this is a towing operation or a pushing operation. Normally, during a towing operation, we see only one side light, and that's why we'll say that this may be a towing operation where the length of the tow is less than 200 meters, otherwise you would see three white lights in a vertical line. However, the vessel that is towing is probably 50 meters or more, because you see a white light, a separate white light which is horizontally separated from the two vertical white lights. As you see the green side light, you know that this vessel is underway, and we can see the starboard aspect of this vessel. If you see this vessel at sea, you will sound or rather maintain the course and speed, because you become the stand-on vessel as you see the starboard side aspect of this vessel. As this vessel is not restricted in her ability to maneuver and she can take action to avoid collision, she becomes a give-way vessel in this case. This vessel will not display any day signal and will sound one prolonged blast followed by two short blasts during fog or restricted visibility. The next card here is a fishing vessel other than a trawler. As soon as you see a red over a white light, that should indicate that this is a fishing vessel. This is not a trawler, because a trawler displays green over white light. Also, do not confuse this card with a pilot vessel. A pilot vessel displays white over a red light in a vertical line. This vessel is making way because you can see the green side light and you can see the starboard aspect of this vessel. And here the gear is extending less than 150 meters, otherwise you would see a white light horizontally separated from the red over white in the direction of the gear. So the gear has to be more than 150 meters for another white light to be displayed. This vessel, when you see it at sea, you will sound two short blasts and alter course to port, because this is a fishing vessel. It is your duty as a power driven vessel to keep clear of it. This vessel will display two cones with its apexes together in a vertical line during the daytime to indicate that this is engaged in fishing operations. The fog signal for this vessel is one prolonged blast followed by two short blasts. The third card here again has two white lights in a vertical line. And as soon as we see two white lights in a vertical line, it should indicate to us that this is either a towing operation or a pushing operation. The hint that I use for it to be identified as a pushing operation is normally two side lights which are horizontally separated and shown on the same card. Here the vessel is power driven vessel which is pushing ahead. It is probably 50 meters or more, because you can see another white light horizontally separated from the two white lights in a vertical line. This is being seen from the port side because you see two port side lights, and of course it is underway. As soon as you see this vessel, you will sound one short blast and alter course to starboard, because this time you are the giveaway vessel since you are seeing the port aspect of this vessel. This vessel will display no day signal but will sound one prolonged and two short blasts during the fog and restricted visibility. Here again, this is another case of a power driven vessel that is pushing ahead. Like I told you before, as soon as you see two white lights in a vertical line, that should indicate to you that this is either a towing operation or a pushing ahead operation. Again, like I said, when I see two side lights horizontally separated on the same card, along with the two white lights in a vertical line, I kind of assume that this is a pushing operation. Because you see a third white light horizontally separated from the two white lights in a vertical line, it also tells me that this vessel is probably 50 meters or more, and it is underway because you can see the side lights as well as the mast lights. When you see this vessel, again you will sound one short blast, alter course to starboard, because this is the stand-on vessel and you can see the port aspect of it. So you become the giveaway vessel, and it is your duty to stay clear of it. This vessel will display no day signal and will sound one prolonged blast followed by two short blasts during fog and restricted visibility. The next card here, you see only one red light, and I remember when I was a cadet, I used to hate these lights or these cards which had only one light on it, because the probability were a lot more. So it used to be a bit tricky to identify these cards. However, as you can see in the answer, one red light could indicate that this is a sailing vessel that is underway, seen from the port side, or this is a vessel being towed, seen from the port side. Now this cannot be a power driven vessel, because with power driven vessel you would probably see the masthead light with the side light as well. So when you see this one red single light, think about it from a sailing vessel's perspective, because sailing vessels normally, sometimes they carry a combined lantern, or they will not display the masthead light. They might be a sailing vessel which is underway, seen from the port side, or a vessel being towed, seen from the port side, because you see the red side light. When you see this vessel, or rather when you see this light at sea, you will sound one short blast all opposed to starboard, because you see the port aspect of it. You are pretty much the giveaway vessel, and if it's a sailing vessel, it is anyway your duty to keep clear of it as a power driven vessel. If it's a sailing vessel, it will not display any day signal. However, if it is a vessel being towed, but if the length of the tow exceeds 200 meters, it will display a diamond. If the length of the tow does not exceed 200 meters, this vessel will also not show day signal. If it is a sailing vessel, the fog signal for this vessel will be one prolonged blast followed by two short blasts during fog. And if it is a vessel being towed, then it will sound one prolonged blast followed by three short blasts. I used to love these cards which had a lot of lights, because it used to make my job easier to recognize these cards. Now here you see two white lights in a vertical line, and you see a red, white, red light in vertical line as well. And then you see a green and red light horizontally separated but at the same level. Now as soon as you see the green and the red light horizontally separated at the bottom of the card, you immediately know you are on a head-on course or an end-on course with this vessel, because you see both the side lights. Now when you see these two white lights in a vertical line, that could mean two things. This is a power-driven vessel that is towing. However, length of the tow is less than 50 meters, because there is no separate white light horizontally separated from it. It is underway, but the length of the tow is 200 meters or less, because if it was more than 200 meters, you would see three white lights in a vertical line. And this is a vessel which is restricted in her ability to maneuver. Or this could be a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver, or a dredger without obstruction, probably 50 meters or more, making way seen end on. Now the red, white, red light in a vertical line indicates, of course, that this is a restricted in her ability to maneuver. The two white lights in a vertical line, now because you are seeing it end on, that's why I said it could be either a power driven vessel that is towing, because you see these two white lights in a vertical line, but it could also mean that this is a power driven vessel that is a normal power driven vessel. However, it is restricted in her ability to maneuver, because you are seeing both the masthead lights. So this is probably 50 meters or more in length. This is an ordinary power driven vessel, but it has become restricted in her ability to maneuver. As soon as you see this vessel, no matter what happens, you will sound one short blast called opposed to starboard. Why? Because you are seeing it end on. This is a head-on situation. As per rule number 14, you will auto post to starboard and keep clear of this vessel. Because this vessel is restricted in her ability to maneuver, she will display a ball diamond ball in a vertical line to indicate her condition. During fog, she will sound one prolonged blast followed by two short blasts. The next card here, because you see both white lights in a vertical line and then you see both the side lights, you know this is a head-on situation. However, this could probably mean that it is a power-driven vessel that is 50 meters or more, because you see both the side lights, both the masthead lights, The second masthead light of course indicates that this is a vessel, power-driven vessel, which is more than 50 meters in length. However, this could also mean a towing operation or a pushing operation underway, because you see two white lights in a vertical line, like I have told you before. But here it could be less than 50 meters vessel, because otherwise you would have a separate white light horizontally separated from it, and the length of the tow is less than 200 meters because you would otherwise see 3 white lights in a vertical line. When you see this vessel, because you are on a head-on course with it, as per Rule 14, you will sound one short blast and alter course to starboard to keep clear of it. This vessel will display no chase signal. However, if this is a normal power-driven vessel, then if she is making way, she will sound one prolonged blast during fog. However, if she is stopped but underway, she will sound two prolonged blasts with 2 seconds interval in between. But if this is a towing operation or a pushing operation that's taking place, she will sound one prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts during restricted visibility. 3 green lights. When you see 3 green lights in a triangular fashion, that indicates that this is a mine clearance vessel. It is underway because you can see the stern light at the bottom. Now that could be a stern light, the white light could be a stern light, or it could be a vessel less than 50 meters displaying only one anchor light, and that is why you see a white light. When you see this vessel, you will sound one short blast alter course to starboard and pass more than 1000 meters away from it, at least more than 1000 meters. Because this is a mine clearance vessel, the day signal for it would be 3 balls, one at the foremast head and one at each end of the foreyard, displaying the same kind of shape that is being displaced by these 3 green lights. Also, if this is a vessel at anchor, she will display a ball in the forward part of the vessel to indicate she is at anchor. She will sound one prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts during a fog. Then again we see 2 white lights in a vertical line, which tells us that this could be a towing operation. And like I said, if you don't see 2 side lights together, this is probably a towing operation, not a pushing operation. The white light, the third white light, which is separated horizontally from the 2 white lights, indicates this vessel is probably 50 meters or more. However, the length of the tow is 200 meters or less, otherwise you would see 3 white lights in a vertical line. So remember these hints and how I'm recognizing these cards without looking at the answers. Think about the hints that I am giving out in recognizing these cards, and that will make your life easy. Because you see the green side light, you know that this vessel is, you are seeing it from the starboard side. When you see this vessel at sea, you will maintain your course and speed. Remember, although this is a towing operation, she is not restricted in her ability to maneuver. She can take action to avoid collision. And because you are seeing the starboard aspect of this vessel, you become the stand-on vessel. You will maintain your course and speed. This vessel is the give-way vessel. She has to take action to stay clear of you. This vessel will display no day signal but will sound one prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts during fog.